Hello? Hello, people. Hey! Oh, yep, mornings. That's gotta go. Hey, guys, how are you? It's been a million, trillion, gazillion years since we done a just chatting stream because I was MIA for a while, right? I was gone for a while, and then I came back last week and played some games. And I didn't really talk much. I mean, I did a little bit, but I didn't talk for too long. I mostly just played some games and talked about Pokemon. So, I went to do just a normal chatting because I haven't done one in a while, so I have like a lot of stories and stuff to tell. I wrote them down on my little just chatting document. You know, I told you guys that when I do just chatting, I write down like a ton of stuff I want to talk about. It's a long list, okay? I haven't seen y'all in a million, trillion, gazillion years, so okay, it's a really long list. I do want to talk about I want to talk about the negative things first, to get it out the way, because I'm sure some of y'all have noticed. If I've seen a bit distance, that's because I have not been engaging in the Discord as much. I haven't really been uploading or posting many different things, and that I just literally been stressed. Like that's the reason I've been very, very stressed out with my job and stuff, and I've been trying really, really hard to keep myself like relaxed and stuff. So as a result, I haven't really been spending my time talking in the Discord like I would, you know, like in the main chat and stuff. I haven't been talking in the main chat as much. I have so many clips to edit because I got somebody to I have somebody who clips my VODs and stuff now. I've been coming to them. So I have so many clips to edit, but I haven't done it yet because I don't know, I've been super stressed. And it's my job. I'm be honest. It's literally my job is getting to me, y'all. It's so bad right now. My job is getting to me. So I have not been as active. I just gotta survive until spring break though. Y'all, I got about 3 more weeks before I go to Japan for my honeymoon. So I just gotta duke it out. I gotta duke it out and fight and throw my fist up so I can survive until spring break, right? The reason I've been super stressed out, it's a lot of different things. All right. As most of you guys know, in January, I found out that I had a crap ton of requirements needed for me to maintain my teaching license. And I found out that I was missing a lot of things, right? I found out that there was 2 state exams that I had to take, even though I had already taken and passed 2 other state exams. They said, well, you're in a different state now, so that doesn't matter. So I had to take and pass 2 more state exams. And then I had to pass this performative assessment, which literally I spent hours on it every single day for like a month and a half, right? So as you guys know, like that's when my stress started in January. And I finished a lot of that stuff. I finished that stuff early, like March, right? Hey, Fiddle. I finished that stuff in March, early March, like the last week of February, first week of March. Everything got turned in, all the tests I took. I finished them. Welcome to Puppy Academy, friend. And as much as I like to say that once I hit that submit button, all the stress went phew out the window, that's not true. You know, it's always been in the back of my brain. Like, oh, I gotta make sure. I hope I passed this test. I hope I passed this test. I hope I passed it. Well, guess what, y'all? We're getting real close to me getting my results back. So I'm a little nervous about that. One of the tests I get back on the 20th, and the other test I get back on the 26th. And those tests determine whether I can relax or not, because if I pass, I can relax, kick back my feet, and I can be happy. And if I don't pass, then I'll have to go into super overdrive because I'll only have like 1 or 2 weeks to get everything, to try again, basically, and get everything fixed up. So I'm a little nervous about that. Yeah, I'm a little nervous about that. I did pass my math test. I don't know if I told y'all that. I passed one of the 2 state exams I had to take. I passed the math one with flying colors, mind you. I got a very high score on it. But to be fair, you don't need to get a good grade on. I hate this song. Hold on, I'm skipping it. You don't have to get a good grade to pass the math test. It's literally, you just have to get a 50% or higher, and I got an 81%, so that's pretty good. Ooh woo. I thought it was I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I thought it was insane. So the math test that you had to take in my state to teach, you know, every state is kind of different, but in my state, the math test you have to take in order to continue teaching is literally a math test. I mean, it's like elementary level math. Like they ask me questions about fractions and geometry and stuff like that. Plus, there's a few like teacher questions mixed in. I would say there's about 50-ish questions, and I would say about maybe like 15 of them are like teacher related. So they're like, oh, little Bobby is learning how to count or whatever. Which activity would be best for teaching him how to count? So a few of them are like teaching related, and the rest of that test is literally math. And when I tell you, when you get your test scores back, they tell you how well or how bad other people did in each section of the test. Tell me why out of almost 15 questions about fractions, it said teachers only averaged answering 4 to 7 of them correctly. 4 to 7, less than half of the questions correctly on average for questions about fractions. It was the same for geometry. I was like, y'all are some crazy people. And my coworkers, I remember my coworkers before I took it, they were like, oh my gosh, Cyan, the test is so hard. Ooh, it's so hard, Cyan. You might, you know, I didn't pass on my first try, and I missed this questions and that question and this one, and I failed. And then I took the test. Ooh. And it was like, what is 1/4 times 2/5? That was the test. That was the test, y'all. See, the thing is, oh well, I couldn't do it either initially, but I looked over the test before I took it, and I saw that fractions was a big part, and I kind of forgot about how to do them. So what did I do? I reviewed it, ooh, and it's not like you have to teach yourself from the beginning, right? Like I didn't have to teach myself fractions. I just had to do a quick little review session. That review session took me, like, what? 2 hours, and I was good to go for the test. So I was like, I don't understand how people were doing so bad on the test. Yes. So yes, my voice does sound tired. We are in allergy season. This is the season, well, it's more than allergy season, right? Yeah. Y'all know, a lot of y'all know I have acid reflux. So you take acid reflux and you combine it with allergies. So my throat already bothers me from allergies, and then your throat's burning because you're eating bad foods and whatnot. So then you get the double whammy, and then you raise your voice a lot because you're a teacher. Yeah, that combination is not kind on my voice. So always around March, April, and May are always my absolutely worst sounding voice. I'm going to sound raspy probably for a while. Until I get my acid reflux under control, at least. I think if I can get my acid reflux fine. And I've been eating bad, y'all. It was Kotaru's fault. He made white chocolate cookies yesterday, and they're literally the best thing ever. And then he's been taking me, like, we've been eating out a ton because of, like, some money that we got during our wedding reception. People gave us money, so we've been eating out a ton. So my acid reflux is, like, dying, and I've been indulging, basically. Plenty of points. Oh, I know. How are you doing? I'm okay. How did we get on this topic? I was like ranting. I was getting y'all I said I was gonna give you the negatives before I give you the positive, and I'm talking about cookies. I'm not done with the negatives yet. So anyways, yeah, I've been a little distant lately because I've been super duper quadrupler stressed out by my job. Because one of the testing requirements to keep my job, I'm on a time constraint. I gotta have everything done by May, or else they say, oh, no more teaching job for you. You lose your job. Yeah. So to avoid that, I took a bunch of tests. I'm waiting for the scores to come out. They come back next week, and I'm scared. Okay, that's one reason why I'm stressed. Number two as to why I'm stressed. My job decided this year that they wanted to pull a funny prank on all the teachers. And they gave us attendance letters. I kid you not. They put letters in everybody's like teacher mailboxes. Also, hey Timothy, and teachers' mailboxes if you had missed X amount of absences. So far this year, my paper said I had missed 10, with 5 more planned. Because yes, I'm going on a honeymoon. I'm going to miss 5 more days. But my paper had a special extra line that my coworkers' papers didn't have. Mine had a fun little line at the end that says, since you are expected to miss 5 more days, this will negatively impact your evaluation at the end of the year. And I was like, oh, lovely. Oh, lovely. So yeah, that's stressing me out too, because now I know that my evaluation is going to, at the end of the year, is going to get lower, which normally I would not care, right? Because who cares about the end of the year evaluation? The problem is I am still considered a beginning teacher. You are a baby teacher until you're out of your 3rd year. This is my final year as a baby beginning teacher. Okay, the issue is you have to get a certain rating on your paper in order to graduate from being a beginning teacher. Meaning if they decide to lower my score like a ton, because let's be real, because I got married. That's why I have so many absences, because I got married. Then I won't be able to unbegin. I will be at like, they'll keep me in like the beginning teacher program. I'm like, that would be really, really, really annoying if I had to do that. Yeah, so my job's stressing me out. And then that like combined with just, it's the thoughts, like, because I've been thinking really hard, right? I've been busting my butt trying to keep my job this year, right? In January, I find out I'm missing this. You got to get all this done. So I spent months working as hard as I possibly could. Thank you for the raid, Tegan. So I spent months working as hard as I possibly could to keep my job. And so I felt like when they sent me this little attendance letter in my little mailbox complaining that I had so many absences and it's going to lower my evaluation, I felt like there's like a kick in the face, you know, like, oh, you've been working so hard to keep your job. We're going to reward you with possibly being screwed over for the next year. So yeah, this has been fun. Hey Tegan, I'm sorry you rated mid-rant. I was in the middle of complaining. I'm complaining right now. We're doing just chatting today, but I'm trying to get my complaints out early so I'm trying to get it out early to let people know what's going on, because I've been I have not been doing VTuber things like I should, but I have good reasons for it. So I wonder what that happened that slips to the local news station. Who knows? I don't think people would care, to be honest. If you haven't noticed, there's this huge stigma around teachers. Like, a lot of people will look at like things teachers have to do or that teachers go through, and they'll be like, teachers need to go through more. You know, there's like a big stigma about like teachers. So I've been absent. You know, I got this little attendance letter saying that my evaluation score is going to be lower. But the thing is, I've been absent because I got married. Literally, I think I only took about 5 days of sickness this year, and 6 days. And 3 of those days were when I was so stressed out about the requirements that were like pushed onto me in January that like I was feeling physically stressed. Like my body was like, I felt like my body was shutting down because I was so stressed out. So I took like 3 days. They were like mental health days. They were so I can get my work done, right? But also because I literally felt like I was going to snap because I was so stressed out. And then I got married. Getting married would do it to you, y'all. I mean, I took a few days off because I tried to get a special visa so we can go on our honeymoon. I'm taking 5 days off so I can go on a honeymoon. Just to get married, I had to take a day off because you have to, if you were to get married at a courthouse, right? You know, like if you get a normal marriage, like, you know, like whoever's like gonna be your officiant, they take care of all like the documents and stuff. But if you're going to get like courthouse married like we did, you have to physically go into like your local something office. I forgot what office it was. You had to go into your like a local office and get it in. But you had to stand in a line and stuff. So yeah, I took like a half day off for that. And then when my name got changed, right, I had to take like a day or 2 off just to get my name changed because so many places are like, no, you have to come in to get your name changed. So I had to take off so I could go stand in line for an hour to get my name changed. The first thing when you do it, you get married and you want to change your name, is you have to change your social security name, right? Like that's the first. You got to change your social security, then you change your license and your passport if you got one, then everything else you can change. But the first absolute top thing you have to change is your social security stuff. If you ever change your name, fun fact, y'all, if you ever decide to change your name for any reason, or you get married and you're changing your name, the first place you got to go is the social security office, right? Well, all of my local social security places were like booked up for months in that advance. I'm talking like I would have got my name changed like next year. Like that's how far out they were. So me and Kotaru took a trip like 2 hours away just to get my name changed in a timely manner. So like, yeah, I missed a lot of days this school year, but it's literally because I got married, and like my principal, she knows that, but you know, there's still, yeah, I'm getting punished for getting married, y'all. And then because I've been so stressed, I've been having a lot of shoulder pain. Like my shoulder pains right now are killing me. All of my tension goes to my shoulders. So whenever I get like stressed out for any reason, my shoulders just like, they go up and they get really tight, and I'm like, hey mom, sorry, I'm a little rant today. I'm almost done. All right, I'm at the end of my rant. Before and then I'll go back to my normal stream. One more thing. I got one more last rant. Ready? Y'all ready? Ready for my last rant? My eye has been twitching. I went to the eye doctor yesterday for my yearly checkup. Fun fact, my eyesight is terrible. For anyone who doesn't know, I cannot see. So I have to go to the eye doctor every year because I'm at high risk for like losing my vision, you know. So they had to check my eyes every year to make sure that nothing crazy happens. And y'all, I asked my eye doctor, I said, my eye has been twitching so bad. Is there something wrong? Girl looks me dead in the eye. She's like, no, you're just stressed, girl. Your eye will twitch from stress. Huh? My eye's been twitching for like a month now and it won't stop. I'ma tape my eyelid so it can't twitch no more. You know, when you see like twitching on TV, you see like the bottom eyelid like twitch upwards, and they're like, oh, my model can't replicate that. That sucks. But anyways, you see your bottom eyelid twitch up when people's eye twitches. No, my right eye has been twitching, and it's not the bottom eyelid, it's the top eyelid in the corner. So like my entire like top eyelid will shift to the right very aggressively, and that's how it twitches. It wasn't noticeable a few weeks ago because it was a lot more like subtle and minor. But man, I looked in the mirror yesterday and watched it twitch, and it was aggressive. I was like, oh, I'm surprised nobody has commented on it. I be looking people dead in the eye, and then my eye just be like, whoop, what? It just be leaving. My eye be leaving me. Anyways, yeah, that's my rant. It's gotten so bad. My job has bothered me so bad that I've been looking at other jobs. I know, crazy. I rebranded myself as teacher dog this year, and I was so excited. Yeah, I love being kindergarten teacher. Yes, we love teaching children. And then my job said, well, bam, they punched me in the face, and then they said, well, bam, and they punched me in the gut, and they said, well, bam, and they punched me in the forehead. Yeah, so I was looking at other jobs. There's this position at some schools called a technology manager, and it's their whole job just to look at like the kids' iPads, like to fix up iPads and Chromebooks and to make sure the teacher's stuff is working. Maybe I was like, maybe I should just do that, because our technology manager, he be chill. Like he just walks around the school and like he's still like supporting the schools and stuff, but he hardly interacts with people because he just walks in, checks the iPads, and leave. Can I do that? I asked him. I said, is your job peaceful? He said, very. No one bothers me. And I was like, that sounds nice. And I said, what's the requirements for getting your job? And he's for having your kind of job. And he was like, you just need a bachelor's degree. And I was like, oh, that's very nice. So I was looking at technology management. Sometimes I want a quiet office job, you know. Especially I love working with kids, but And I feel like this is a sentiment that most teachers who leave the field share, that they love working with kids, but it's the adults that's the problem. I'm really starting to feel it. I was thinking about maybe trying a different, yes, me, technology management. Okay, I know how to work some iPads. All right, setting up stream and all this extra stuff is different, but I can in fact set up iPads and some Chromebooks and get them ready for testing. I can keep inventory on them. You see what I'm saying? You know, it wouldn't be that bad. It's not that bad. Oh, you're right. I am banned for quiet places. But I don't know, a quiet job? That doesn't sound that bad. I love working with kids, I do, but my job is wearing me down. I think I might. I was thinking about maybe trying to go to a different school, but I've been hearing a lot from teachers who have bounced from school to school, and a lot of my coworkers have pretty much stated that things are the same. One of my coworkers said she came from her previous school because the school was like, the coworkers and stuff were toxic. And I'm like, and she's like, and I was like, well, they're toxic here. And she's like, yeah. Yes, they're toxic here too. My previous school as well, when I was a teacher assistant, I was at a different school than I am now. That was also very toxic. Very, very toxic. That place was terrible. It was toxic in a different way. So my current job is toxic in the sense that a lot of people are very passive aggressive. They'll send you some nasty emails and some nasty text messages, you know, just being with a real sarcastic, aggressive tone without outright being an aggressive, very passive, like extremely passive aggressive. And they'll like get an attitude. You'll never know which side of someone you get. Like you could talk to somebody, ask a question, and they'll give you a nice side, or you can ask a question and they'll go off on you for no reason. Like you don't know. That happens a lot at this school. My previous school was toxic in a different way. Y'all, when I was a teacher assistant, those TAs used to sit in our little TA room and they would gossip. And I don't even mean like a little bit of gossip. Hi, Mop, and hi, Sanders. I mean like big gossip. At my previous school, those TAs would sit in a room and they would be like, oh, did you hear this person did this? Oh my God, did you hear that this one teacher had this thing happen in her room? It's all the teacher's fault. And they will always blame the teacher no matter the situation, no matter. And I felt I got in trouble for that because an incident happened when I was taking the kids to the. So when I was a teacher assistant, I signed up to be a gen ed TA, but they put me with the special needs kids instead, which I actually ended up liking better because special needs kids are you pull them in smaller groups and like the activities are a lot more simpler and they're super sweet. So I ended up actually I actually enjoyed being helping the special needs kids more than I did like I probably would have with like a general like ed class. But yeah, that also meant that these kids all had something different going on with them. So just transporting them, like getting them from one classroom to the special needs room was hard. So one day I went and I got the kids from the special need class. I got them I pulled them out of their classes and I was taking them to the special needs. All the kids go, I need to use the bathroom. I need to use the bathroom. I need to use the bathroom. I said, okay, we'll do a little bathroom break before we go in there. Y'all all have to go. We go in the hallway. We're doing the bathroom break. Two of the kids start fussing. One kid, he fusses all the time because he doesn't really understand a lot of things. So he will take very small gestures as somebody trying to like fuss at him, right? Like you could try to hold his hand, for example, to help like guide him somewhere. And he'd be like, no, you don't need to touch me. Why would you do, so small things will set him off. So he got set off while we were in the line. So I'm over here facing the kids. I'm like, hey, why are you fussing? Blah, blah, blah. You need to stop doing this and blah, blah. While I have my back turned and I'm dealing with these two kids fussing at each other, I turned back around to see the other girl who just came out of the bathroom holding her forehead and crying, sobbing. And I said, move your hand out the way. So I moved her hand off her forehead. She had the biggest, fattest lump on her forehead. And apparently, in the short duration I had turned my back to get the kids to stop fussing and to deal with their problems, the kid came out of the bathroom running at full speed and collided with another student who just came out the bathroom walking like a normal student would. So these kids collided, but she hit her forehead. The girl hit her forehead really hard on the other kid. And as a result, it like made this, it was golf ball size bump. It was massive on her forehead. Guess who was the talk of the TAs the next year? Guess who was the talk of the TAs, huh? Me, not next year, I meant the next day. Literally the next day, the teacher assistants were like, did y'all hear? Somebody wasn't supervising the special needs kid. Somebody, they were unsupervised. They were just running around the hallway doing what they felt like. And then one of the kids got hurt. And I remember interjecting and I was like, actually they weren't unsupervised. I was the one watching them. And I was trying to dispel an argument when, you know, this kid comes running out the bathroom at light speed and hurts herself. And they were like, well, clearly you weren't watching the kids. If she were to get hurt like that, if she got hurt, that's your fault because you weren't watching the kids. And it was so stressful. It was so stressful being there because like I said, like any little thing that happened turned into something massive and it was so scary. That's why you can't even look away for a second. Yeah, you can't. You can't. Girl got beat up and it was her own fault for just running out of the bathroom at light speed. But the next day, you know, I was the talk of the whole school. Everybody was like, oh my gosh. Did y'all hear? Cyan wasn't watching the kids, so a kid had to go home with a golf ball sized forehead. Did y'all hear? Cyan just left these kids to rot in the hallway by themselves, and she wasn't like it spread literally the next day, and it got so twisted too. Like every time I heard somebody talking about it, which was common, like I would just be walking by and I hear somebody talking about it, the details would shift every time. It was like a game of telephone at that kid. It was so crazy. I said the kid. It was the game of telephone at that school. It was so insane. Like they were literally like, it started off with that they were unsupervised. Then it turned into I was there and I just didn't do anything. Then it turned into I was on my phone and not watching. And then every time someone retold it, it had a different detail. So that was my previous school. That was toxic in a different way. Like my current school is toxic, but not that level. And not only would they talk about the teachers like that, so like if any incident happened, it was like always the teacher's fault, and no matter what the scenario was, they would sit in that room and talk about students. And I'm not talking about like how most teachers, you know, most teachers are going to talk about students like, oh, you know, this kid's not listening, you know, all day long they've been doing this, or this kid, he's never coming to school, so he's not learning. You know, that's normal teacher talk. You know, you just talk in general about the students. No, these teacher assistants at my previous school were bad mouthing the kids. I'm talking like, this kid is dumb. This kid is stupid. Man, why I gotta work with these dumb kids? They don't know nothing and they're never gonna learn nothing. Like, it was bad. So I was like, I remember, like, I would hear them talk about them and I'd be like, y'all, these kids are like 10 years old max if you're working with like 4th and 5th grade. And we're calling them like dumb and stupid and saying that they ain't got no future. When I say it was bad, y'all, it was bad. So it could always be worse. My current job, the coworkers are a little bit toxic, but at least they ain't like, they're not like that. I remember I was really anxious when I finally became a teacher because of my experiences when I was a teacher assistant, right? Because if you did anything wrong, it was always your fault. And in the first month of my teaching at my new school, a kid put a paper clip in an outlet, and I was so scared. Like, he burned his finger because he put a paper clip in an outlet, and the outlet even burned a little, like it had smoke coming out of it. This was literally the first month of teaching, and I was so scared because I was convinced that I was so convinced that they were going to dogpile me, because at my previous school, right, it would have been all my fault. I should have been watching every single child at all given moments. If a child had an opportunity to even get out of his seat for 2 seconds, it would have been my fault. And then that happened, and then I was scared. I was like about to cry. I was like, oh my God, I'm in so much trouble. I'm going to lose my job. And then my mentor teacher was like, it's okay. We'll take care of it. And I was like, I'm sorry. And the teacher was like, it's not your fault. It was the student's fault. Why did he think it was okay to put a paperclip in an outlet? I was like, oh, it's the student's fault. It's not my fault. She's like, why would it be your fault? Did you tell him to put the paperclip in the outlet? I was like, no. She's like, what was he supposed to be doing? Sitting at his desk doing his work? And she said, okay, then you couldn't have predicted that he was going to do that. And I was like, oh my gosh. I just really remember that. It was so bad my first year. I've been a sub for 5 months. It's brutal, and kids today have so much attitude. Even to teachers. I don't know how you all do it. Yeah, you know, I work with kindergarten for a reason. Kindergarten they don't have attitudes yet, you know. Kindergarten is still in that age range where they're like, I like kindergarten because they're happy to be there. They're still in that age where they're just happy to be at school most of the time. They need a lot of support from you as a teacher, so it makes me feel like a little mom sometimes. For Teachers Appreciation Week, my first year, one of the parents actually gave me a best mom ever mug. And it was cute. And it's my favorite cup to this day. Literally my favorite. It says best mom ever. Because I feel like a mom to the kids because they're such small babies. It's not the kids that are the problem. Like I said, it's my it's the co-workers, it's like the school environment, but the kids, they're lovely. I love working with kindergarten. If only I could just like work with the kids and then never speak to another adult ever again, we would get so much done in that room. Like, I would be as happy as I could be. We'd be playing educational games and smiling and enjoying life together. But, you know, admin does exist, and they have to keep us on a tight leash. You know, they gotta make sure we're not going rogue in there and teaching crazy stuff. You know, so they exist. But it's crazy. You're about to go to school in like 20 minutes. Well, have fun at school though. Have fun. Can I put a paperclip in an outlet? Please don't. Please don't. It's very scary. It's very scary. I've never done that before, and I didn't know that was something that kids do. I actually asked all of my coworkers afterwards. I was like, have y'all ever had a kid do that? And they were like, no, they're 5 and 6 years old. They're old enough to know not to do that. Because other teachers didn't have outlet covers. Like out of this incident though, I did put outlet covers in all of my in every outlet in my room, which I have a lot of outlets. There were like 30 wall outlets in my room. For some reason, in these baby kindergarten classroom, the entire back wall of the room has this gigantic outlet strip where it has like 4 outlets like every like feet away from each other. So there's like 30 outlets on that back wall. You try to cover it up as much as you can with furniture and stuff so that there aren't just like a million outlets back there, but I use that as my little reading corner, so I just put outlet covers back there and then covered up with some of them with shelves. But yeah, outlets, time to stick a fork. And listen, that kid, if he had a fork, he probably would have done it. He probably would have done it. And the worst part, welcome to Puppy Academy, the worst part is that kids don't learn. So like, yes, this kid put a paper clip in an outlet and he burned himself. Tell me why a few months later I caught him with another paper clip in his hand. He was ready to do it again. He was going to be a repeat burning his hand offender. Like, I don't understand why he did that. And the mom was so concerned. Like, she was messaging me constantly because he kept getting injured because he would do stuff that he wasn't supposed to do. And the mom would get mad at me. She was like, I'm afraid that I'm going to get a phone call home one day saying that he's in the hospital or something. And I'm like, I mean, I didn't tell her this, but I was just like, maybe if you teach your child like what to and not to do before they enter a school environment, then just maybe it won't be a problem. Like, you should have taught your kids not to mess with outlets by now, you know? You should have taught your kids that if you stand and climb on tables, they'll probably come tumbling down and hurt themselves. It's so bad. But to be fair, this kid is also very hard-headed, so she probably did teach him these things, and he just didn't hold on to it, because he literally would just hurt himself multiple times in the same exact way and get really upset about it and then do it again. So she probably did teach him these things, and he just probably just did not listen, because his sister was like 4 years older than him, and she was like so mature. She was in like 3rd grade, and that whole time I thought she was in 5th grade. I thought she was like about to go into middle school, the way she was acting. Not, she was in 3rd grade. I was like, girl, you in 3rd grade? She acted like a tiny mother to that child. I literally would tell on him to her sister. So when I dropped him off at the buses, I would be like, girl, you won't believe what your brother did today. And she would be like, what? He did what? Don't worry, Miss Cyan. I'll take care of it. I will handle it. He's going to have no TV for the week. I'm going to take his iPad away. Like, that sister was so funny. I literally would tell him. And then she would, like, when I would bring him over to her after, like, telling on him, she would, like, grab him by the ear and be like, when we get home, we're going to go at it. I'm telling Mom everything you did, and you're going to do this, and you're going to do that, and you're going to do this. And I'm like, oh. So, yeah. But he still didn't learn. To this day, he still doesn't seem like he's learned, because I see him in the hallway in, like, 2nd grade now, still be doing the same crazy stuff. I said this in the Discord, like, earlier today. Was it today or yesterday? But I was like, I genuinely do not understand how people can do the same thing and get hurt in the same way constantly. Like what do you mean that you lean back in your chair, you fell and hurt your back really bad, that you're crying, and then you're going to lean back in your chair again and then hurt your back in the same spot, and then the next day you're going to do it again? I don't understand that. Or I had one kid my 1st year who would constantly bring in toys, like constantly. And my rule, there's no toys in kindergarten, we're learning. And also whenever kids take toys out, even if it's just for like recess, which I don't allow that either, they don't know how to hold on to their own stuff. They'll try to give it to their friend, and then as soon as their friend makes them upset, they'll try to take it back, and then it'll cause a problem. Or they'll just lose the toy, and then another kid will pick it up off the floor, claim it's theirs, and then I don't know whose toy is who, and it's a hassle to deal with. So I say, keep all toys in your book bag. So there's one girl, every single day, she would take a toy out of her book bag and then try to play with it in the room. Every single day. And every day it would get confiscated. When I tell you I had an entire drawer of just her toys, it was insane. I was like, girl, are you okay? Like, are you sane? And then she would get upset, she'd pout, she'd cry, she'd frown, and then she'd do it again the next day. I still have her toys. I'm not gonna lie. I have this drawer of confiscated toys. Sometimes I remember to give them back, sometimes I don't. So I just have a bunch of toys sitting in there. A lot of them are for her. A lot of them are from her. Like, I still have a ton of toys. I'm about to just go in that extra toy bin that I have from confiscated toys. I'm gonna just add it to my school store. I was actually thinking about that the other day. Like, add it to the school. Cause I do a school store this year, so kids earn like coins and stuff for doing what they're supposed to, and then they could buy things. Helps them with their counting. These kids learn how to count real fast once toys were involved. And let me tell ya, yeah, head pats have been off. I never fixed the head pat redeem. It worked for like 2 days, and then it broke, and I've never fixed it. When I was in 1st grade, I made the teacher cry. How do you make a teacher cry as a 1st grader, though? The only thing I could just, like, I'm really trying to think. The only thing a kid could do that would make me cry would be to, like, poke me in the eye with a pencil, or like stab me or something with the pencil, like that. Like, physical pain. I can't imagine. Well, not an individual, but like a whole class could make me cry, I guess you could say. My 1st year, especially if it's your 1st year as a teacher, my 1st year I cried a lot. Not in front of the kids, but I did cry a lot because I was super stressed out all the time. So one kid acting up really made me feel like I wanted to cry right then and there. And it wasn't that kid, it's usually like, it's not the individual child most of the time. It's usually a collective of things. Like, none of the kids are listening. But then this one child says this thing to you, and that just pushes you over edge when you're already on edge. So it probably wasn't you that made her cry. It was probably like a whole bunch of things that were happening, and then like something happened that was like the last straw. Leaning back in the chair is the ultimate joy in life. Why? I was still taking toys to high school. Hey, no shame in that. I collect stuffed animals. I consider those to be toys too in their own little way. I bought a bunch of tiny fidget spinners to put in my school store for the kids to buy, and guess what? I took 2 of my favorite one out of the pack that I bought, and I keep it in my purse now. I fidget with it every now and then. So I have my own toys now, and I keep them in my purse. My little fidget spinners. They're really cute though. Like I bought this big pack of them. I didn't expect kids to like them as much though, but they were like, "Oh, this one's pretty," and they were like buying them. They're really tiny. Somehow convinced my first grade teacher that I threw away her wedding ring. What? Okay, maybe that did actually make her cry. I take back what I said. How do you convince her that? You know what? I would cry too. I genuinely would cry too if my wedding ring. If they threw away my wedding ring, that's scary. I remember. Not my wedding ring, but before me and Kotaro got married, we got promise rings. A year before he proposed, we got promise rings. And that was like our trial pair of rings, and I'm glad we did it because it taught us, taught Kotaro, who had never worn rings before in his entire life, how to keep a ring on and how not to lose it, because he kept taking it off for different things and losing it. So I'm glad that we had that for that practice. But for me, it helped with my sizing because I accidentally got it size too big. And I remember I was washing my hands and then I dried my hands and it slipped off my finger. My ring slipped off my finger into the trash can. The trash can, the kindergarten classroom. The trash can filled with snot tissues and paper towels and glue and all the and boogers and all the gross things you can imagine. Yeah. And I had to stick my hand in that to fish the ring out. Yeah. It was not a fun time. I would not recommend it. I 100% would not recommend doing that. Please, if you get a ring, please make sure it fits your finger and it doesn't slide off when you just slightly like wiggle your hand. So yeah. Also, welcome to Puppy Academy. She put the ring in her drawer, so I didn't really throw it away. Oh, okay. My grandma once took my fidget spinner and told me to grow up. We were in the car. I then look over at her 5 minutes later. She's playing it. That's crazy. I can't stand it when people are like, grow up. It's so weird how there's a standard to just like not enjoy things that you liked anymore. Like, you mean to tell me that I love stuffed animals? I've loved stuffed animals my entire life, but all of a sudden you turn like, I don't know, like middle school or high school age, and then suddenly you're not supposed to like stuffed animals anymore? Like, some stuff you're gonna naturally grow out of, right? Like, I like Dora the Explorer, but at some point I got into middle school and I was like, oh yeah, I don't really watch Dora anymore, she's for kids. But that was a decision I had to make. It really irks me when other people try to decide what I'm too old for. Even as an adult, I still have people who are like, Cyan, why do you have this? You're an adult now. Why do you have that? You're an adult. What's that got to do to being an adult? I still like stuffed animals. I bought me some stuffed animals the other day. I bought this stupid little dog. I'm gonna take a picture of it and show it to you. He's a really stupid round dog. It's so cute. And he's so stupid looking that I just had to buy him. And I bought another Kirby to go with my Kirby collection. Yeah, I collect Kirbys. And I remember when I was in middle school, Littlest Pet Shop was really popular when I was a kid, right? Littlest Pet Shop, I loved the little guys. They were my favorite. I had like the Littlest Pet Shop like doll house, like this big house for them to live in. And I had a bunch of Littlest Pet Shop toys. I loved them. I never outgrew those. I loved them so much. So much. But then everything changed when my parents attacked, and they decided once I reached like shoot, I was in like 8th grade. Like I was getting pretty up there in the age. I was in 8th grade, and my parents, I come home from school one day, get off the bus, I walk home, I see my dollhouse in the trash, and I was like, what? And they were like, oh, well, you're too old. You're too old to be playing with that. You're too old for that. I mean, do you still play with it? And I was like, yes. And they were like, you do? No, you don't. You're too old. And they kept it in the trash. They wouldn't even let me fish it out the trash. They were like, no. So I went in my room and I cried. I did. I went in my room and cried about it because I was so upset about it. And then I experienced this like even as an adult. Like when I went to college, I put like cute little stickers on the back of my laptop. And I got told by people I need to grow up because kawaii, cute stickers on the back of your laptops is what children do. Adults can't have cute things. Are you kidding me? Cute stickers as an adult? Terrible. And then the fact that you go to like doctor's offices and when you're a kid, they give you candy and lollipops and cute little band-aids and stuff, but you're an adult now. So now when you go to the doctor, you get nothing. You get nothing. You get shots in your arm, they draw blood, and you get a pat on the back and say, go home now. What? I went through hardship. Okay, getting your blood drawn, that's scary and it hurts. And I went through hardship, and I'm not going to get rewarded with a lollipop and a sticker because I'm an adult. For what? For what reason? When did we decide that being an adult is being boring? Huh? Why is being an adult being boring? Why you can't eat candies because you're old now? Why you can't get stickers because you're old now? Why you can't have stuffed animals and plushies and action figures and toys because you're old? Old people have no imagination. And you know why? You know why your imagination fades as an adult? It's because people force your imagination to fade because they go, you're too old. You're too old. You can't enjoy things because you're too old. You need to start enjoying going to the gym and reading some books. Yes. Your only hobbies now that you are old are crocheting, reading books, what do my coworkers do? Work when you're not supposed to be working. So working at home, yeah, that's their favorite one to do. Like, why? Love My Little Pony as a kid, still do. Yes, and you keep it that way. Keep it that way. One thing that bothered me, I like to wear bright colored clothes. Pinks, purples, blues. Pink, purples, blues are my favorite colors. Sometimes I'll wear yellow. I don't have enough yellow. I want to buy more yellow. And white. I wear bright colors. People don't like that. I remember when I was at college, I got clowned a lot for wearing bright colors. They're like, you need to grow up. You're wearing bright colors. What? I'm sorry. Being an adult means I'm not allowed to wear the color pink anymore? What? Like, I just don't get it. And then that made me realize, like, I looked around at people in my college, I realized most people were wearing gray, navy blue, never any other shade, just a dark blue, dark navy blue, red, black. I was the only person wearing, like, colorful stuff. What's wrong with bright colors? It's not adult enough, apparently, y'all. You can't wear pink, that's for babies. You wanna wear light blue? No, that's not sophisticated. Adults wear dark blue. Yeah. It's so bad, y'all. It's so bad. They have cute animal stickers at Chuck E. Cheese now. I've been borrowing so many of them. Hey, I borrow stuff from my job. Did I tell y'all that we had my school gets a lot of stuff for free. Recently we got these coupons for like a free like ice cream at this nearby ice cream place. When I tell you, I passed out one to... They gave us so many. So I passed out one to every kid, and I had like 10 left. So what did I do? I stashed them all in my purse, and I've been going to the same ice cream shop, getting free ice cream every single week with Kotaru. For the past like 4 or 5 weeks now, I've been going with him weekly. And we've been getting the free ice cream using the pass. But to be fair, the other alternative would be to just throw the coupons away. And why would I do that? Literally, why would I throw a coupon away? That sounds like a terrible idea. So yeah, we've been getting free ice cream literally every week because we had extra coupons. It's not my fault we had extra coupons. We just had extra coupons, okay? Okay. Yeah, who would throw away free ice cream? See, now, me in the past, I would have thrown it away. Like, if I wasn't living with Kotaru, it would have gone in the trash. That's because I don't like driving. So, when I didn't live with Kotaru and we were living in separate spaces and we weren't married and such, I would have put it in the trash because I don't want to actually drive to location. I would have been too scared, especially because the special ice cream place, you have to go past a roundabout to get to the ice cream place. I'm too scared to go into a roundabout. And you have to pass one in order to get there. There's no other way. There's no other route. You cannot get around that roundabout. I can't get around the roundabout. Yeah, so I'm too scared to go to that ice cream place. But that's why you bring in the husband. He likes driving and he likes going outdoors, which I don't like driving and I don't like going outdoors, so it works out pretty well. I donate blood frequently, and last time I went like 2 months ago, I was the youngest person in the donor center. Everyone there's like 30s to 60s, maybe 70s. I've never been able to donate blood. I don't weigh in. I might weigh enough now. I think, if I remember correctly, I think currently I'm like slightly under the weight requirements, but previously I was not allowed to donate blood. I never weighed enough. I'm a healthy weight now though. Yeah, I've literally, Kotaru married me. We got married. He moved in with me and I instantly gained like 30 pounds. But that's because that man can cook. He cooks such good food. It made me realize that the reason growing up, I thought that all cooked food was just nasty. Like if it didn't come at like a restaurant or something, it was like gross. If it wasn't frozen or it wasn't a restaurant or nothing, it was just nasty. Like I was under that impression. Turns out, sorry, I was looking at something. Turns out, I just didn't like my parents cooking. Cause Kotaru moves in and he starts cooking up a storm, man. He cooking this, he cooking that. He's cooking this, he cooking that. I make this, I make that. I made it, I made that. And I've been eating good. So yeah, I gained weight. But to be fair, 30 pounds was good. I went from being very underweight to healthy weight. So we're good. I am a healthy BMI for like, not the first time in my life, the second time. I was a healthy BMI for a very short duration in college for like a good year. And then COVID hit, to be honest. And then I went back to being underweight after we were at home for like 2 years. Because if I'm not out and about, like actively like getting food, then I'm not going to eat a lot of food. Also, Mav, you're such a good girl. A good girl. You're such a good girl. Yeah, good girl. Okay, I will stretch. Also, I'm learning that I'm losing my mobility. Yeah, I need to like start exercising. Cause I can like, my arms are like, my shoulders are super tight. It's my shoulders. My shoulders are super tight. When I lift, I can't, I'm gonna sound real old, y'all, but I can't move like I used to. I try to lift my arms straight up and my shoulders are so tight. It's my shoulders are super tight, I've learned, and my like hips are super tight. So I'm gonna have to like start exercising or something, because it's getting worse. It's getting worse with every week that passes. I gotta start. When you're like in school, you have all these physical like activity opportunities, but once you kind of are an adult on your own, you gotta make your own decision to go out and exercise or do something active. And y'all, I ain't got no time to be doing nothing active. I get home from work and I flop on that bed. I'm gonna start stretching though. I like yoga. I'm gonna get back into doing yoga. I like yoga because it's strength training, like, right? Like it's helping you like build muscle, but also it's like deep stretches. If you do yoga like 5 days in a row, I guarantee you by that 5th day, your bones are gonna be cracking. You're gonna be doing like a position that you like do every day, and you're just gonna hear, and then you're gonna feel so much better. I love yoga for that reason. By that 5th day of doing it consistently, everything popping and locking in place. I feel so old. I'm not even old. I'm in my 20s, but my body's been saying otherwise. But that's because I don't really do anything with my body. Like, my job is all lower body. Like, my job is a lot of walking around. I bend over a lot for helping the kids. Sometimes I squat down to get to their level to talk to them, you know. So I do a lot of like lower body movements. My upper body doesn't really get any exercise because of that. So I've noted like my upper body is always like super tense, and I've noticed I'm like kind of losing mobility there. I gotta exercise. Everyone there treated me like I was a young adult, except when I was in recovery center with this really nice old lady saying, "Oh wow, really?" When they were putting the needle in my arm, they said, "You'll feel a slight pinch." Oh, I always look alike. I refuse to look at the needle. So whenever it's time for me to get blood drawn, like my yearly checkup, I always look away. It's too scary to look at it. Welcome to Puppy Academy. Way too scary. What's the rudest thing a kid has ever said to you? The rudest thing? See, that's a hard question because I work with kindergarten and they're not necessarily at the rude age yet. They're like still pretty nice. Even if they hate you, they're nice. Demon Child last year used to call me an effing baby. That's pretty rude. But I mean, he called me that every day. So I mean, is it at that point, does it matter? He also called some of my other kids the N-word, which they didn't know what that word meant, but they knew it was an insult. So they ran over to me and they said, "Hey, this kid said," and I was like, "He said what?" And they were like, "Yeah, that's the word he said. What does that mean? Is that bad?" And I was like, "Don't worry about it. Just go play." Yeah, that happened. So, I mean, I had a kid call the other kid a slur, but he never called me that. Oh, he knew better. He would have called me that. Would have been over. He knew that. But he did call me an effing baby. I think he also called me the B word a few times as well, which I am a female dog, so I mean, it's not that offensive. I find the Minecraft menu music calming for some reason. Do you? Was that playing in the background? I actually don't know what I have. I have this random playlist of music playing in the background, so I have no idea what's going. I'm trying to think. I don't think there was really any other. I've only ever had one rude kid. We just had to have an anti-bullying class because of the racial slurs being thrown around. Do you teach middle school or high school? Or even upper elementary? I can see that happening upper elementary as well. But kindergarten, they're still innocent. They're still sweet. You could make them so mad. They'll have the worst day of their lives. They'll be crying, screaming, angry at you. And then they'll still want like a hug from you. I had a kid do that today. I literally told this kid, I said, "No, do not." I said, don't touch me. Because this kid did not listen to a single word I said all day long. Like, I would say, "Go sit at your table," and he'd go wander around the room. I would say, "Go wash your hands," and he would go to his book bag and start pulling stuff out. Like, he would not listen to me the entire day. And then this kid had the nerve to like try to sit next to me. I said, "Sir, you haven't earned your ability to sit next to me today," because he likes sitting next to me to get his work done. But I said, if you're not going to listen to a single word that I'm going to say, then don't sit next to me. I need you to get your work done. And then when you're done and you want to sit next to me, I said, you need to listen, get your work done. And then once we can do that, then you can sit next to me. But oh my goodness. So, you know, kids, they still... They no matter how much you make them mad. This kid was crying, screaming all day long because he wasn't listening to a single thing that was going on. He was constantly getting in trouble, and then he still want to sit next to me. You know, he still want to play. You teach elementary K through 5th? That's crazy. With the 4th and 5th graders at my school, we have a lot of fighting and a lot of bullying going on. I won't say like it's not like there's no slurs, but there's a lot of fighting and bullying happening with 4th and 5th. That's why I like to stay at the younger grades, man. Y'all can't You cannot pay me enough to work with older kids. You cannot. But a lot of people say the same thing for kindergarten. A lot of people are like, you can't pay me to work for kindergarten now. Because kindergartners are babies. They are babies. They just constantly need help all the time. You got your PS5 just on the menu hovering over Minecraft, some background noise. Hey! I used to do that with my... Before I had like my own phone and stuff, I used to do that. I used to love the soundtrack for Xenoblade, the first one. And I remember Gore Plains, that song was amazing. So, and this was before I had like a phone or like an iPod or anything. So I would just have the game open and then turn the volume all the way up on the TV, and I would have that playing in the background. But I used to hate it because sometimes, you know, it would turn to nighttime sometimes in the game, and then the music would change, and I hated the nighttime theme. So I would stand next to like the change the time spot, and I would constantly change the time and daytime whenever it changed. I used to do that all the time. We're being thrown out by second graders is an insane statement, but I believe it. Second grade is when the kids start to shift. You know, they're little angels when they're 5 years old. For some reason, when they turn 7 or 8 years old, everything changes, man. They stop caring. They start being mean to people. Anyways, y'all, hey Hack, we're gonna have an ad break for 3 minutes, okay? It's Twitch ad break time. I'll put the be right back screen on. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick, y'all. I'll see y'all in 3 minutes, okay? Okay? Don't leave me now. Don't leave me. Be right back. 3 minutes. 3 minutos. Hello, I came back. Hello, I came back. Like I said I would. I always do. Maybe for April Fools I won't. You'll never know. Anyways, yeah. You said you had an incident where a 4th grader painted their entire arm purple. It's crazy. Like, how do they achieve that before anybody notices? Like, I feel like you'd see like half their the part of their arm start to be painted. We're like, whoa, what happened? I would say that, but it depends on how many kids are in the class, right? Like, you can get like a whole army of 4th graders in the class, and you might not notice, especially because they're so big. 5th graders are as tall as me, which is insane to me. Cause like, I mean, I'm 5'2" or 5'3". I don't consider myself to be that short, but then I walk past a 5th grade class, and half of the kids are literally taller than me. And I'm like, how are you? Why are the younger generation of kids so tall? Why are they so tall? Because when I was a kid, yeah, I was on the shorter side of most of my classes, but I wasn't like that smaller compared to my classmates. But for some reason, this like new batch of kids that are like growing up are like gigantic. Unless they reach like their max height by 5th grade, but I highly doubt it. Them kids are huge. They are huge. Yeah, the other day I had a kid who ate a crayon. So the nurse called her well, my mic isn't. Are you pranking me? My mic isn't muted. There's audio coming out of it right now. Unless you for some reason just can't hear it. I don't know why. You are pranking me. I'm being pranked. Oh my gosh. You had me scared. I was like looking at the thing. I was like, it's green. The bar is moving when I talk. Don't ban me? Nah, I'm not gonna ban you. I'm not that tall, but everyone else in the tower is towers compared to me. I'm 5'2" or 5'3", and these 5th graders are massive. Like, what are y'all feeding them? Well, I guess maybe it's because we're in America, and it's all the extra like additives they add to the food. You know, you know how like they add all these extra stuff to make the strawberries and the fruits and stuff extra big, so that you can get as much out of it as possible. Yeah, that's why. Them kids eating them growth serum strawberries is making them like gigantic. Yeah, it's them Lucky Charms, man. It's making them gigantic. 4'1"? That's so small though. Also, thanks for the subscriber. Appreciate it. Now you're dang, what do I call my subscribers? Y'all, I've been so off my game lately. I was thinking about, because before I rebranded, I was marching band themed, so I would call them like the leaders of the band. I guess you're a teacher assistant. I don't know. Do I have a word? Do I have a name for my subscribers? I don't think I do. No, teacher assistants are mods. You can be classroom helpers. There you go. You're a classroom helper. Welcome to the Puppy Academy shit. It's small though. I'm not that small. I'm 5'3", 5'2". That's average height for. First of all, that's average height for a woman. Second of all, that is like, I'm like tall. Remember, I'm a dog. I am literally a dog. Can you imagine like a 5'2" dog? Like, I'm massive. Come on now, I'm massive. Saying that, welcome to me. Yeah, welcome to you. Welcome to Puppy Academy. Passing by. You're homeschooled now? Those class roles drove me crazy, to be honest. Yeah, that's valid. How's homeschooling going? What is that like? What is homeschooling like? Like, I don't. I'm interested in the concept of homeschooling. There is like there's a stigma around homeschooling, but there's also this stigma around like public schooling too. Like, it doesn't matter what kind of schooling you receive, people are gonna like look down on it. Like, it's so bad how that works. Like, oh, you're in public school, I bet you're learning nothing, and you're just learning bad things from students and teachers. And then you're homeschool. Oh, you're homeschool, I bet you're learning nothing. And then you go to a private school. Oh, you're going to a private school, I bet you think you so fancy because you go into a private, you know, like, I feel like no matter what kind of school you go to, I feel like it's gonna be crazy. Homeschool is like normal school, but good. How does it work? So, like, if you're being homeschooled, right, your parents usually, like, what, like, your parents teach you, or I know you can pay somebody to teach you at home. How do they know what to teach if you're being homeschooled? Like, is there like something you sign up for and they like send you like textbooks and stuff in like the mail? Because I know that homeschool kids still take like exams and stuff. Is it like do they like mail you or like send you the work that you're supposed to be completing? Or like, do they send like the parents who are homeschooling like the curriculum, the different lessons and stuff they're supposed to teach? Like, how does that function? Like, I genuinely don't know how that functions. I kind of want to look it up. I don't know anything about homeschooling, not a single thing. Welcome to the Puppy Academy. Welcome. I know nothing about homeschooling. It's kind of an interesting concept. I feel like it can be done really right and it can be done really wrong. Thing I do is it's a system to the government. I'm technically a private school, but I just do it online. You can buy school, but so you do it online. Oh, I get it. Okay. How does attention work in homeschool? I don't know. You're at your house, so I'd assume they put you in the corner. Hey, you're not listening right. Go sit in the corner of the house and think about what you did, you know? Go sit in the basement. Yeah, go sit in the basement until you can decide to act better. Till you can get your act together. You're gonna sit in that corner. You're gonna think about what you did or didn't do. You know, I don't know. If I was homeschooled, my attention would probably be the belt, low key. My parents would have been like, "You're not listening. Wapow. Why you not doing wapow?" You know, that's just it is what it is. Stretch and hydrate, yeah. But from an 18-hour workday, oh my god, go to sleep. 16-hour workday, go to sleep. Oh, yasumi nasai, go to sleep. Yeah. You know, one of the reasons I wanted to become a teacher was so that I could learn how to work with kids, so that someday when I have a kid, I do want kids someday. Someday when I have a kid, that they will be, that I will learn and get like experience working with kids that age and like knowing how to, like, what to teach them and how to teach them stuff so they can be super smart. My kid, since I specialize in like the younger kids, my kid is gonna be so smart, man. I'm gonna start them on doing some fun learning activities when they're little. They're gonna be a little toddler and we're gonna be doing some fun little activities. They're gonna be super mobile. The one thing that kids don't have these days are the motor skills. Those motor skills of these children these days are terrible. I'm buying them stuff they gonna have to manipulate and move because, ooh lord, ooh woo, it's so bad. It's literally the worst thing. In the beginning of the year, some kids don't even have the strength in their hands to write with a pencil. Like, that is a muscle that some kids in the beginning of the school year have to build, because if these parents don't like give them things to, like, you know, pick up and lift and manipulate, you know, some Play-Doh so they can practice, like, squish the Play-Doh around, or they can just lift this or lift that, they don't have the strength to do it themselves. So when it's time to hold a pencil, their grip is so weak that when they try to write, it literally like just slides out of their hand. Like in the beginning of the school year, some kids just are not strong enough to hold a pencil. Because you have to push down. You have to push down on the paper to have a pencil, to use a pencil. And some just cannot do that. So my kid, oh my god, my kid's gonna turn like 2 years old, and we gonna start early. They're gonna be learning the ABCs, they 1, 2, 3s. They're gonna be adding, subtracting, and teach them multiplying, dividing. They're gonna be so smart. Motor skills, like a mechanic, yeah, they're gonna start driving a car and like a motorcycle. But honestly, if motor skills are movement abilities. Motor skills is a fancy term for movement. You have fine motor skills, and I forgot what the other one's called. But fine motor skills are small movements. Think of being able to touch your index finger to your thumb so that you can pick up a pencil. Think about being able to move your fingers in a way that you can flip one page at a time in a book, or like just orient your hands in a way that you can pick up something. Those are fine motor skills. You have I forgot what the bigger motor skills is called. Most of the time we just call them motor skills and then fine. Like you just say fine if you're talking about the smaller ones. A lot of kids do not have fine motor skills because, I mean, you hand a kid an iPad all day long. They're not picking anything up, you know. When I was a kid, I used to play with sticks. That's fine motor skills. Picking up sticks and play fighting with them, that's fine. Just picking up the stick and stuff, holding it in your hand, that strengthens your hands, you know. iPads do not. Especially when you can just lay back on the couch and it's sitting on your lap. You have it leaning against the table. Yeah, no, it's bad. He poured the paint on his arm in less than 5 seconds and he rubbed it in. That's insane. I believe it though. You turn your back around for 2 seconds at schools and then you turn back around and something catastrophic is happening. Literally, it's so bad. Sometimes you can catch the kid in the act. Like you can see a kid about to cut somebody else's hair and you're like, stop! Stop! In the name of the law! Do not cut her hair! And other times you're just like, oh my god, please. And you turn around, the hair's already cut and you're like, no. Also, welcome to Puppy Academy, Zoli. Those motor skills sure are fine. I'll fix my car, little Timmy. Hello. Hello. First time chatter. Hi, friend. What do cats eat for breakfast? Mice crispy. Well, I'm not a cat, so I don't know anything about cats, though. I'm a dog. Woof. I was not handing an iPad to kids, so I handed it to myself. That's so valid. When I don't know, when I think of these kids and this new age, right? Call me old. I'm only in my 20s, but I feel like becoming a teacher really makes you turn into a 90-year-old lady because you see a lot of stuff in education with like the younger generation and you're like, oh god. Reading is starting to phase out. Have y'all noticed? Yes, I'm a teacher. I'm a kindergarten teacher. Have y'all noticed that reading has started to phase out? Like, kids can't read anymore. Like a lot of kids cannot read anymore. Like it's not a guess. It's literally a statistic. You can look it up. A lot of kids, at least in America, I can speak from America. I don't know about other places, but statistically, American children are not passing their reading tests anymore. They're reading on lower grade levels than they should be. It's not good. And I don't know if y'all get different ads than me, but I've been getting ads on Instagram a lot lately. I go on Instagram Reels a lot when I'm bored. And I've been getting an ad constantly that really gets on my nerves. And it's like, you're reading wrong. This is how you should read. And then they take a book, they scan the book onto their app, and it finds the audiobook of the book, and you can listen to the audiobook of it instead. Why would you do that? And that app gets on my nerves. Like, you're reading wrong. This is not how you read. And then it has them listening to the book instead. What? That's not reading, you little goober. You can't do that. And it makes me want, I don't know. Kids cannot read. My prediction, they can't write either. I honestly, I've said it on stream before. I suspect that writing is going to become old news. Like how they stopped teaching cursive writing, I feel like they're going to stop teaching kids writing. Like at the rate we're going, everything's going to become digital. And it's already starting to happen. In schools, kids are given iPads starting in kindergarten. Like my kindergartners all have their own iPad assigned to them. By the time they reach second grade, they get their own, third grade, they get their own Chromebook, and they start doing a lot of assignments online. Tests are all online now. We used to have those like big old Scantrons and stuff and did everything by hand. That doesn't exist anymore. It's online because it can grade it like super quickly, right? So if you're doing all this typing and things are being read to you and you're not even having to read anything, then I genuinely feel like writing is going to become old. I feel like 30 years from now, they're going to be calling us super old because we know how to write. And we're going to be walking around saying, writing's important. Everyone needs to know how to write. And the younger kids are going to be like, nah, I have my laptop. I can just type it. Like, that's where I believe it's going. Also, hi, Exit Blade. I am having a good evening. Senior in high school, and I love reading at my younger sibling versus to do so. Yeah, it's terrible. So you're gonna have them, son. I'm buying them a fishing rod and a crossbow. And you're gonna hunt your first deer. You hunted your first deer at 8. Hey, that's some motor skills though. So that they're gonna be learning how to move their arms and stuff. You like my hair and how it covers my eye? Thank you. Thank you. Books have been replaced with screen time, which I just bought a Kindle, so I can't say anything. But the reason I bought a Kindle is because physical books are so expensive now. So I do have a Kindle now for reading, but Kindles also mimic how books look. It's kind of sad, but buying ebooks are cheaper than buying physical books. A physical book is like $15 to $30 depending on the book, whereas a Kindle, buying it like a virtual version of it brings the price down to like 10, sometimes like 5 depending on what the book is. So you broke your wrist? What happened? My students in 3rd grade don't know how to tie shoes. Ooh, yeah, we don't teach tying shoes, and parents don't either. Parents aren't teaching a lot of skills. It's kind of weird. Like, where do you go from here? I don't really know. I don't believe that kids will be writing soon though. I think that writing is just obsolete. I think that, I mean, I don't know where AI is going to go either, because kids are very reliant on AI, but AI isn't very sustainable right now, financially, for the people who are making these AI companies, and also just environmentally right now is not too good. So depending on where AI goes, then I'll be able to give you a more solid answer, or what I think the future is going to be like. But either AI stays with us and kids read less and less and they write less and less because they rely on AI more, or AI disappears one day and the kids don't know what's going on. They ain't going. If AI just disappears one day, these kids are all gonna be messed up. See, when I was a kid, our way of cheating was just Google. Remember, y'all know Spark Notes? Y'all, when we had a reading assignment and you didn't want to actually read the book, we had Spark Notes. But the thing about Spark Notes is it summarized the book. It summarized each chapter of the book, and then it gave you like the key points of each chapter too. You still had to read it. So if you didn't want to read the entire book, you still had to read the Spark Notes summary, which were really long. They were still long, and they were summaries of the book. And then Spark Notes didn't really give you all the answers, so you would use your Spark Notes knowledge of the book summaries, right? You got your book summary online that you had to read. Then you would still have to flip through the book to find specific parts that Spark Note was talking about. Now, you want to cheat? Kids will just type in the book name and then ask ChatGPT to answer the question, and it will for them. And you don't even have to read ChatGPT's response either. You can literally have it read it out loud to you. So again, the kids who can't read just forever will not have to read. It's kind of sad. I can't survive without ChatGPT. I hope that you adapt to where you can, because it might not be here forever now. I don't really care when people use AI. I know it's a big thing, so people are like, oh my gosh, you use AI, no, don't do that. I've never been one to really care much. I just don't think you should overuse it. You know, like if you're gonna use it for ideas here and there, you know, like, oh, I'm trying to do this, I want to make a project like this, what could I make this project on, you know? For ideas, I think it's best used, but I wouldn't use it to write something for me, you know, to write something for me, or to do this for me. But brainstorming, the only good use that I feel like ChatGPT is there for is brainstorming and explaining answers to questions. Not even that, because I tried using it to, when I was doing my like online course I had to take last year, some of the questions I didn't understand. So I would ask it to reword questions for me. That was helpful, actually. I was like, I don't understand what this question's asking. Can you tell me what is it asking? That was useful. But if you were to try to get ChatGPT to answer questions for you, it's wrong a lot of times. I learned that last year when I was experimenting with it. It's very wrong. I would be like, you could be like, what's 1 + 1? ChatGPT would be like, it's 5. And here's why. And then it'll give you a long explanation, gaslighting you into believing why 1 + 1 = 5. It's like, huh? I know that's not the answer. Why are you telling me this? As a high school student, I would confirm that most students use AI for everything. I believe it. I'm kind of grateful. I graduated from college around the time that like AI was starting to come up. So I got out of there just in time. I cannot imagine having an essay that I wrote by hand. Okay, bye, Butter. I can't imagine having an essay that I wrote by hand getting put into a machine that tests to see if my writing is AI or not, and it can just falsely flag it. Like the fact that now if a kid is smart and uses a lot of big words and fancy like writing in their stuff, that it can make people think that it's AI is really sad. And I'm really glad that I was not there for that. I'm glad that I got out just in time. Like literally I graduated and then a year later AI was starting to become everywhere. Like the fact that you can just get falsely flagged for cheating and you're not, it's insane to me. I mean, we used to do that back in my day. Back in my day, we used to get flagged not for cheating but for plagiarism. So sometimes you would have to put your essay into a little website and it would check to see if you like copied something. But it was literally just looking for if you copied and pasted something verbatim. Right? Like you could use quotes and stuff in your writing. You just had to have like a certain percentage of like quotes used from other places. Like you could only have like 3 or 4 like small quotes directly. Everything else just had to be reworded. Like as long as you reworded things, you were fine. And now like they go and check to see if your thing is quote unquote AI. How would they know? How would they? What if you're just smart? You know? Just use AI to get a thumbnail draft. To be honest, yeah. For ideas, there's another way to use the idea. As a whole is fine morally, I guess, but I can't get behind generative AI. Generative AI as a whole, because I don't know the different kinds of AI though. I can't really talk on that. Hey, Pillow. Yeah, right, because it generates responses, and I know that it can generate like arts and stuff too. I think using AI art is funny. I cannot really see much of a purpose of generating art with AI, to be honest, other than like some people just like love AI art and they're just like constantly posting it. I'm like, why? The only thing I can kind of see people using AI art for would be if they maybe had like an OC or like a character that they maybe wanted to see come alive, so they like describe it to the bot and then it creates their character. I can kind of see that. Any other usage? No, I can't really understand it. AI has to do with making AI art, writing, music, etc. Music. I heard about AI songs. I don't know how to identify an AI song actually. I don't listen closely enough to tell if the song is AI. But I also don't really listen to music either, so I'm an upper sophomore and almost all my peers use AI to write whole arguments about deepfake in AI art. No! Isn't that crazy? Now we're using AI to write arguments about AI. It's mainly a moral issue due to stealing others' artwork and underpaying. Yeah, that's a big thing, yeah. And the VTuber community is a big no-no because the backbone of VTubers are artists, right? I cannot have my current model if I didn't have an artist that I paid for to make this model, you know? I had to pay somebody to draw this. So in the VTuber community especially, it's a huge no-no for generative art. It's a big ban, you know, since our entire community runs off of artists. You cannot have a VTuber without the artist. Like, it's not possible. You can AI generate a model. It ain't gonna look nice, and it's not gonna be separated either. Like, the artist are the ones who have to separate the parts so that it can move. Like, you literally cannot be a VTuber without an artist. Like, it's not possible. You can't even try to get around it by generating an art, because someone's still gonna have to separate the layers and stuff too. Like, you cannot get around it. Like, that's how integral artists are to our community. So yeah, it's a big ban here. Like, AI art is a big no-no. Like, you don't do that. Google Gemini can make 30-second music tracks now. It's good for Goofy. It can do that? Why does everything... I saw a video about this recently, but why does everything need a chatbot? Like, you'll just be like doing something normal. Like, I could be like opening like my banking app to check how much money is in my account, and they'll have like a little pop-up box in the corner like, oh, our AI chatbot is here to help you. What do I need help with? Checking how much money I have, you know? Every single website just seems to have a chatbot in the corner, and it's really annoying because now it's hard to talk to like a real person. And some issues, I need a real person to get them resolved. Like, how am I supposed to... And then the chatbot it's like programmed to say specific things and have specific like responses to things. So you're just sitting there talking to a brick wall practically, because you're like, hey, I need this one thing done, but this stupid bot keeps telling me to have a nice day. Please help me. I need assistance and you're not helping me. What happened to having real customer service people just running a little bot in the corner? Like, you can get in contact with a real person. You can still get in contact with a real person sometimes, but you gotta fight to do that. You gotta fight. I'd be like, customer service rep. Speak to a customer service rep. Speak to a customer. Like, you'd be yelling at the phone. Speak to a customer service. Or they'll be like, press 1. Or for this thing, press 2. For this thing, press 3. For all other inquiries, press 4. And then you press 4 and they're like, here are your options. For this, press 1. And then none of the options match. And you're like, and you say, speak to a customer representative. And they're like, I'm sorry, I do not understand what you just said. Here are your options again. You're like, speak to a customer representative. And they're like, I didn't quite catch that. For blah blah blah, press 1. And I'm going to beat somebody up. Somebody's gonna get beat up. I don't know who gonna get beat up, because ain't nobody on the other side of the phone, but somebody gonna get beat up. Same thing like the digital chat bots too. Like, you could be like talking, like texting it, like saying, hey, I want to speak to a real person. They're like, oh, I am a real person. No, you're not. You don't let me speak to a real person. They do all that so they can cut costs and not to pay employees, but now people don't have an income and can't pay for their product. That's true. The trick would be to answer the question with something like donut. The system gets frustrated and sends me to it. Does it really? Had an issue with the bank. Use an AI agent and was given the option to talk to a real person. I clicked the button and waited. It was redirected to AI? No. Can't be a VTuber without an artist and a rigger. Yeah. I have been very loyal to my rigger. Leonard has rigged my models for the past 3 years. He rigged this model. He rigged my previous model. He even rigged my first model. And I have seen his like rigging work get so much better. I mean, I showed off my old previous models every time, like, and you wouldn't even know it's the same person who rigged it, because he's improved so much. So like, my first model, like, it was moving kind of stiff, like, you know, he was just learning how to rig. And then the second model I had a little more flowy, like the hair flowed a lot more, but the body was still pretty stiff. And then he rigged this model and I was like, dude, and I was so shook. But he improved so much. I remember I asked him to make my tail wag on my previous model like 3 years ago, and I did not like how that looked. And then, you know, a few years later, I get this model and say, hey, can you make this tail wag? And the way this tail wags and flows is so crazy. Part of it is probably because of how the layers separated too. That does help, right? Like, if this model was separated way better, this model was separated way better than my previous one. So that does help, but like, sheesh. Donut trick works. I think it does. It often, like, after 3 times. Okay. Tail wagging costs extra. Oh, it did cost extra. The tail wagging cost extra. My mouth tracking cost extra because I had it like default rigged to where my mouth should just go like this. When I talk, and my mouth couldn't make any other shape other than this. But then I went back on a rig so I can go I can move my cheeks. Yeah, that costs extra money. Getting the facial, being able to like frown and like my ears wiggle, that costs extra too. Yeah. Every now and then I go back to Leonard and I'm like, hey Leonard, add this one cool feature to my model. He goes, okay, that'll be an extra for you. And I'm like, great. Yeah, the ears was a different thing. None of these didn't happen at the same time either. These like all different like improvements. Like the ear thing came. This was after, I'm not gonna lie, that was after Saba debuted. I saw how her ears like kind of flopped when she like moved around, and I was like, Leonard, can I have the ear wiggle too? And he was like, yeah. So I showed him like the stream clip of Saba, and I was like, you see how her ears are moving? Can mine do that? And he was like, yeah, sure. And that'll be some extra monies. And I said, okay, bet. And I gave him some extra monies. Now my ears wiggle, but my tracking is not very good right now. My room's really dim right now. Best yippee yappity stream ever watched. Yes! Your model is gorgeous. Yes! Thanks. I appreciate that. It sucks that you guys are popping up in my burnout era. I'm very burnt out. I started off my first like 30 minutes of my stream is talking about how burnt out I am. Not with streaming. I'm just burnt out with like life right now. So I'm trying to get back into things. I'm hoping. I'm going on my honeymoon in a few weeks. I'm going to Japan. 2 weeks off. I'm really hoping that going to Japan for my honeymoon is the big reset that I need to relax and get back to being my old self, because I've been way too stressed. So I'm really hoping. I gotta survive into my vacation, but during that time I will be gone away for 2 weeks. I will try to have something scheduled, like my goal is to have some shorts prepared and maybe some short like videos of just me talking about stuff on my YouTubes and TikTok and Instagram, so that you guys don't forget I exist. Because, you know, if y'all know anything about content creation, you stop streaming for like a week max, and then it stops and then YouTube and Twitch stops recommending you and sending out live messages, and you won't pop up in their feed anymore, and you won't pop up in anyone's feed anymore because you didn't stream for 1 week. And God forbid you go 2 weeks without streaming. No one knows who you are anymore. All right, so I'm gonna try to have something in place because of how the content creation world works. But I mean, if I don't, it is what it is. I'm be living it up, y'all. Yeah, I'm going to Japan. Really been a millennial midlife crisis. Yeah, I guess you could say that. Well, it's just that Kotaru always really wanted to travel somewhere. He did. He's like, he wants to see the world. I don't like leaving my house. He loves planes. He wants to go in planes all the time. I don't like riding in planes. But, you know, Kotaru was like, I want to see the world. We're getting married now. We need to go places. We need to do things, you know. And I picked Japan as my first go-to. I was like, okay, well, we're going to go somewhere. Let's go to Japan first. Mostly because, I mean, I've always been, like, tied into, like, I don't know, Japanese. I'm a VTuber, all right? That came from Japan. Kirby came from Japan. That's a cool place. Anime comes from Japan. Kawaii culture comes from Japan. Their shrines are so cool. They got a lot of cool technology stuff in Japan. I don't know, just like a fun place to go. So we're gonna go there, and I'm really hoping that that's the reset I need to come back feeling nice and refreshed. I'm not a millennial, no. I'm Gen Z. I am, in fact, considered Gen Z. I'm just the older Gen Z. The younger Gen Zs are like, what, like 15, 16 right now? I'm an older Gen Z. I am Gen Z. Which is so weird to say that, because I don't like... Being on the older end of a generation is not a fun feeling. Being older Gen Z is like... You're like watching the younger Gen Z people do stupid stuff, and then you see the media going, Gen Zers doing this, Gen Z's doing that, Gen Z is doing this and that, and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't associate with them. The younger Gen Z's graduated? Oh my god. I am old. Wow, they graduated? The younger Gen Z's have graduated? What is the age range for what is the age range for Gen Z right now? Oh, 14 to 29. The younger Gen Zers are 14. Isn't that crazy? 14. Y'all, I'm so old. I've been having moments lately where I just feel like the oldest lady on the planet. It's been like that all week this week. I don't know. I just remembered my age this week, and I was like, I'm in my mid-20s. And I'm only going to get older. Once you hit your mid-20s, I heard that you just speed up and you just go straight to your 30s. That's going to be me in a few years. I'm going to be 30 in a few years. 30! 30 in a few years. You don't get younger, guys. You just get like... You just continuously get old. You don't get any younger. Like, what do you do? What do you do when you get old? What do you do? How do I cope with getting old? I'm in my mid-20s. That's really old for a dog, though. I'm like a million years old in dog years. I'm ancient, by the way. Hope you guys are cool. Hang out with the grandpa. Yeah, it's okay, grandpa. We still like having you here. That's my grandpa voice, by the way. What does Gen Z even mean? You know, the different generations of kids. Like every few years is like if you're born between this year and that year, you're part of this generation. Like you got the millennials, you got the baby boomers, you got the Gen Z, you got Gen Alpha, Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z. Want to go to St. Moritz in Switzerland. I have seen many videos that show cars like Bugatti, McLaren. Oh, you want to go for car shows? I'm new here. What's going on, people? Nothing much, Max. We ain't doing nothing. I'm talking about how old I am. I've been talking about a lot of random stuff today. Like, you realize you have so many F's to give, but you realize that you have some control when to allocate them. Yeah, isn't that crazy? I wish... I don't know. My dad is old. And he always talking about how he just realizes he just doesn't care about stuff anymore. Like, things just don't be stressing him out because he's like, I'm so old that I've dealt with it already and I don't care. And I'm like, can I achieve that level of status of like just, oh, well, I've been dealing with this for a while, so I just don't care anymore. Oh, he said this about me, don't care. Oh, they're doing this at my job, don't care. That's where my dad's at. And I'm like, I am jealous. Can I not care in the extreme way that my dad doesn't care? Can we not care together? Like, I be caring too much. That's why I be stressed these days. I care about everything. I care about the kids that I work with. I care about what my coworkers say. That's my problem. I be stressed out because my coworkers be saying something about me. And I don't like it. I've been working on that. That's what I've been working on this year. It's like just, it's, what's the word? I guess you could say like, what's the word? I don't know how to word it. I've been working on like, you know, not worrying about what other people say about me, basically. I'm trying to get in the zone. Yeah. Get in the zone. Auto zone. Also, welcome to Puppy Academy, Maury. Welcome. Gen Z is Gen Z because people thought Gen Z would be the last gen because of the 2012 theory. I don't know the 2012 theory. Gotta head out. Okay, good night. Oh, Yasamina-san. Buenas noches. Good night. You just pop some Benadryl so you're tired? I need some Benadryl. Not only will it make me tired, but at the same time, my allergies this year, oh, they've been bad. Hey, Kevin. Hey. You start realizing that Oscar the Grouch is a mood. You start realizing that Squidward and SpongeBob was real. Like, he's the realest character they got. Everybody else, SpongeBob be doing some crazy stuff, and Squidward, I be making the same face, Squidward. Don't you worry about that. You know, you start to realize at some point. That Squidward was always right, all right? He's a little grumpy man. I'd be grumpy too if I was surrounded by SpongeBob and Patrick. So, Increase the uwu energy. I can't increase the uwu energy until my voice is back. I don't have my voice right now. My voice is super raspy and like weak. Like, give me like, I can give you the uwu energy when springtime's over. So give me June, July era, and then I can get my uwu energy back. But right now, I sound like a I sound like I smoked one too many cigarettes. That's what I sound like right now. No, I can't make that joke. Her voice isn't working. Yeah, my voice isn't working. My voice broken. My voice is not usually this raspy. I hate how I like new people coming in, but I hate how this is like the voice you guys hear. So then people come in and y'all gonna think this is my like normal voice, and then like 3 months from now, when like allergy season is gone and I start talking normal, then y'all are gonna be like, whoa, she sounds like that? You sound normal? No, this isn't my voice. My voice is usually slightly higher pitched and less raspy, but my coworkers said they like how my voice sounds raspy, so maybe that's a good thing. It is less raspy. Like for example, there's a concert that that RaMe, my VTuber group, was hosting. Pinky's in charge of it right now. And I was going to participate in it, and then springtime came, and now I can't. My voice is not working. Like if I were to try to sing for y'all right now, like it just wouldn't come out. Like my voice is gone, and it's going to be like that. The raspiness is kind of cool sounding though. Yeah, I figure. Like which one y'all want? Y'all want my raspy voice, or y'all want my like kawaii higher pitched voice? I can do both. VTuber group? Yes, I am the owner of a VTuber group called RaMe. I started the group because there aren't many SFW like wholesome streamers out there. So I started a group and I found a bunch of wholesome streamers and we put together. Now we do stuff together. Although we've been kind of vacant with activities and whatnot. Pinky's been on the grind though. Pinky's been working and getting stuff off the floor. But we have a lot of people. I mean, I've been gone, and I know Pinky's been really busy too, so she hasn't been doing stuff. And some of the other members are experiencing a lot of different stuff. We got a lot of stuff. Fluffle, yes. Claire is one of them. Claire Fluffle, yes. Maybe the normal one because it's probably safer. Yeah. I gotta get my acid reflux in control. That's what growing up made me understand stuff in cartoons that I wasn't able to understand as a kid. You know, when I was a kid, I'll answer your question next about why I chose to become a VTuber. When I was a kid, I used to be really sad about the concept of friends. I used to, because I never had like close friends growing up. I had people I talked to here and there, but I never had anybody that I was like close to. So growing up, I was always super, super jealous. I was super jealous of my of anybody who had like a close friend. I was like fuming over having, like, wishing that was me. I remember SpongeBob used to make me so sad because SpongeBob had Patrick, you know. SpongeBob had Patrick with him all the time, and that used to make me super, super, super upset, you know. And then, like, any show I watch, really. Because they all, you know, every show, they have some sort of best friend. You know, Adventure Time, Finn has Jake. And I usually just feel so sad when I watch shows. Because I really wanted to be somebody's first choice. You know, someone's best friend. Someone's, like, go-to person. I wasn't that. So watching TV as a kid used to just make me sad. It was really sad when I think about it. Anyways, why did you choose to become a VTuber? I chose, when I became a VTuber in 2021, I've been around here for a long time, all right? When I became a VTuber, I had just reached my lowest point with my anxiety. I was diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder. I have that. I get anxious with every stream, but I'm fine. I had just reached rock bottom with that though. Like I I was going through this phase where I was having like panic attacks and freaking out all the time for like 3 weeks straight. It was to the point where like my parents literally took off from work just so that they could be home with me so they can calm me when I panicked and stuff. And my mom got me therapies and stuff. It was a therapist and stuff. It was a whole thing. That's important detail, right? So I was at my worst point with anxiety. Everything was making me anxious. Like breathing, like I would inhale and I would be like, oh my gosh, I'm not getting enough air, and I feel like I was breathing wrong, and I'd freak out because I'm like, what if I pass out? Like, it was bad. Or like I'd feel my heartbeat and I'd be like, my heart is beating too fast. Heart's not supposed to be that fast. And then I'd freak out about my heart beating fast. It would make my heart rate go up, and I'd freak, like literally everything about me was freaking out. Like I'd freak out about my breathing. I'd freak out about my heartbeat. If I heard a sound from outside, I'd freak out. Everything was causing me to panic. It was so bad. So my parents basically had to like babysit me for a few weeks. I'm a grown adult, by the way. You know, I'm like 20 something, being sat by my parent because my anxiety was so bad. During that time, I like stepped away for like the entire time. I didn't talk to anybody but my family. Watched some TV, you know. As soon as I returned, you know, started feeling a little better. Kotaru, who's my now husband, but we were just best friends at the time. He introduced me to Hololive because they were dropping their first English wave, you know. Gargura and Amelia Watson and Amelia and Kiara and Mori and Ina. They were all, it was time for them to debut. So I watched them with Kotaru and I was like, wow, this looks like fun. Like, is it possible for us to do that? And Kotaru was like, no, probably not. So what is that? Saku, what am I looking at right now? You just threw off my entire thought process. What is that? God, what was I talking? What is that? Anyways, yeah. They debuted and I was like, oh wow, this is like fun. Do you think we could do that? And he was like, maybe. So I went to research how to become a VTuber. Came across Vroid Studio, little 3D software. You can make your own VTuber now. It's much better these days. You can make something that doesn't look ugly, but back then, Vroid model was going to look like the ugliest thing in the planet. But you know what? I had me an ugly little model and I loved it. And I made a quick little model and I decided to become a VTuber because like I was really frustrated with how anxious I was, and it was a big deal to me that being anxious always stopped me from doing things that I enjoy. Like I didn't do anything fun. Hey Sammy, just because I was so anxious. Like I'd be like, oh, I want to do this. Oh, I want this solo in the band, but no, I can't do that because I'm gonna be too nervous. Oh, I want to audition for this, but no, I'm not going to do that for being nervous. And I kept stopping myself from doing things that I thought was fun because I was too nervous to do. I want to dance here, but I'm too nervous. I'm not going to dance. And it became a problem. So when I saw VTubing and saw how much fun those like Hololive people were when they debuted their first EN wave, I wanted to be a part of that fun. But then I was so nervous. I was like, oh my gosh, this is too scary. But in the end, I decided to become a VTuber anyways. As a big middle finger to my anxiety is the best way I describe it whenever I talk about it. Because becoming a VTuber was the first time that something ever made me super anxious. And that I said, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to do it anyways. Before becoming a VTuber, previously, I would just give up. Like, I'd be like, oh, this is too scary. I can't do that. And I would stop and I would let anxiety win. VTubing is the first time that I did not let anxiety win. And I won. And look at me now, guys. Look at me now. The entire first year was torture, though. I ain't gonna lie. The entire first year streaming was torture. I streamed like twice a week with Kotaru, and I was panicked every single stream. Y'all, it was so bad. I was practically having a meltdown internally every time I went live for the entire first year. It takes me a long time to get out of anxious routines. For example, when I learned how to drive, it took me about 2 years driving before I stopped feeling nervous just to go around the corner to work. And even now, I still feel nervous driving. I've been driving for how many years now, and I still feel anxious doing it. It's just not as anxiety provoking as it was before, but it's still I still get pretty nervous, especially if I go somewhere new. But you know, it gets better, but it takes so long. That's the one thing I can't stand. How long it takes. How long it takes to get over anxiety stuff. It takes so long. Like, I hate it when like I'm like super like people are right, you know, when you're anxious, people are like, you just got, you know, you gotta do it so that you can get better at it and you stop being nervous. They're right. But you know, when you have anxiety, it's not like a, oh, I conquered my fear one time or 2 times, so now I feel better. Now it's like I had to conquer my fear 100 times and now I feel less anxious, you know? Like it's a lot more drastic. Normal people are like, oh, just do it because you do that one time and then you'll feel better and then you'll be more confident. Meanwhile, I'm on like the 100th time. I've driven home from work for the 100th time and I'm still nervous about it. It literally took me like 2 years driving to and from the same place every day before I stopped being nervous. It's so bad. It's inspiring. Shout outs to the husband too. Oh yeah, man. Kotaru kept me going. If Kotaru, which is why whenever someone says anything negative about Kotaru on my channel, it's an instant ban. If Kotaru was not here, I would not be streaming. If he was not with me, because he streamed with me my entire first year. He was my crutch. I could not stream without him because I was way too nervous. Until eventually, after I streamed with him, I started feeling confident on doing things on my own. You know, I use him as a crutch. And so I start to gradually, you know, get away from streaming with him to where I felt comfortable enough to stream it myself. And now I'm at a point where I stream it myself all the time. He actually stopped being a VTuber at some point. He stopped being a VTuber like 2 years in, basically. We're on year 5 now, so I've been with it for a while, but he did it for about 2 years and then stopped. Kotaru is a good guy. It's really bizarre because all the people in my life I've known were like toxic in some way. Like all of my friends were like insane. They were mentally insane. They were mentally like crazy. Probably needed to be locked up in a mental hospital. A lot of the people I knew in my life were not good people. Or they were just mentally astray so bad that they really needed some help. So when I met Kotaru and he was normal, I used to tell him all the time, like we'd be going out on a date and I'm like, how are you so normal? Like he's just a normal guy. He don't got any crazy like mental things going on. He ain't got nothing physically going on. He's not mean. He's helpful. I realized that he was different when on our earlier dates, he would just do gentleman things. Like he would walk on the side of the road that was closer to the cars. I was like, whoa, I've never seen that before. We were doing, we got longboards and we were learning how to ride on the longboard and I fell. And he didn't laugh at me. And I was like, I fell off the skateboard and longboard. I was about to cry because I thought he was going to laugh at me. And I was like, oh my God, that's so embarrassing. You know, this man I'm like dating right now. It's like one of our earlier dates too. I'm like, I just fell in front of him. He's going to laugh at me. And he was like, are you okay? And he helped me up. And I was like, you didn't laugh? Because all my friends would laugh. They would have been laughing. It was stuff like that. Or like we had some deer in our path and he like kind of stood in front of me to like be like a little shield. And I was like, oh. And he still does that, you know? He's just a normal guy. Isn't that weird? I don't know. I've known a lot of people in my life and most people were not sane. Like when I tell, like, I'm not even joking. The people I knew in middle school and high school and college, I did not talk to them for a reason. I don't have IRL friends because the IRL people I know were not good people. And at some point I realized it wasn't worth holding on to their friendship because they were crazy. And then I met Kotaru and he's just a guy. He's just a guy. That's probably why we ended up getting married. He's the first normal person I've ever met in my personal life. He's the first normal person I have ever met. In my personal life. Isn't that crazy? He's just a normal guy. He's just a normal guy. Can you believe it? Hey, Liliana. Because I most certainly cannot. I couldn't believe it when I met him. I was like, what do you mean this guy is helpful and he's not laughing at me and he doesn't have any crippling crippling disabilities or anything like going on. He's just a guy. Like, he's just a guy. He's just a guy, you know. Now, I mean, there's nothing wrong with, like, if he did have something going on, you know, like if he had like depression or something, there's nothing wrong with that. But like, the people, when I say the people I've known in the past were crazy or like mentally like insane, I'm not talking like, oh, they're a little depressed, they have depression, or oh, they have anxiety. No, I mean like I'm trying. My channel is family friendly, so it's very hard to tell some stories. I can't even explain. Like I'm trying to think, and I don't think I can even explain on my channel how insane these people were. I think that will fall outside of the family friendly realm. Like, you just gotta trust me. Yeah, y'all just gotta trust me when I say that the people I know were not sane. None of them were okay. None of them were. Not a single person was. And I can't even describe to you why. Because then I would have to put a label on my stream. And we could not be friendly for the day. It's that one. It's that bad. It's that bad. It's not appropriate for stream. It's that bad. The engenderment is not normal. Yeah. Have very clear and evident mental issues. Yes. Mental issues beyond what probably medications could help with. At this point, they needed Jesus. That's all I could say. Like, I don't know what else whatever they can use. I saw this Vtuber smash, bro. You're such a good boy. Did you know that? You're the bestest boy. You know, you're such a good boy. You're the first SFW VTuber I found. One reason I sub, because you're different. Yeah, I'm built different. That's also why I advertise myself. I put it 13 up in the title of my stream, because I know a lot of people don't come across that often. So they finally find somebody there. But also, a lot of people don't label themselves either. Like, they don't say 13 up or 18 up. So you don't really know what you're going to expect. And you'll click on something. You're clipping like a little tiny tiny cute little model, and you're like, oh man, this person must be so cute and wholesome, and then you click on their channel and they're saying like something absolutely foul. I can't stand that. I hate the juxtaposition of having these really cutesy, like small framed models, and then saying like in like the highest pitched voice, and then saying like something really nasty. I know people like that trope because they're like, ah, hee hee, oh my god, it's so funny. Is this small high pitched girl said something, ha ha ha, she said something inappropriate, hee hee hee, oh, you know, like adults have like middle school humor, but like I hate that. First friendly VTubers I found. Yeah, I mean, I'm closest to family friendly. My content's family friendly, however, because of Twitch's and YouTube's policy, air quotes on the word family friendly, because you still have to be at least 13. You had to be at least over the age of 13 to watch like streams and stuff. So yes, I make friendly content, but if you're not under the age of 13, you're not allowed to be here because of Twitch. Twitch's rules, not my rule. If that wasn't my rule, everybody of all age would be allowed here. But you know, Twitch will literally smite you. The second family friendly VTuber I found. The other part is that I bet kids will watch that. They watch 18 up anyways. They just don't say the age. Anyways, y'all, I got to go. Kotaru is on a long trip today, and he's gonna be coming home soon. And I want to be there when he gets home because I haven't seen him all day. And I'll be available, so I'm gonna go make myself available. So we're gonna raid. They're gonna raid. My man coming home soon. He been gone all day long. I'm gonna be waiting on standby for him when he comes. So we go end stream. Okay, I'm a stream. What I say on my stream schedule? I sent in the Discord. You should join the Discord, by the way. What I put this way, I forgot. I think I put Friday maybe stream, and then Saturday Pokopia. I am one quest away from unlocking end game of Pokopia, so I will just be building for Pokopia, and I'm so excited. I literally am on the final quest for unlocking like the big building transformations thing, so I'm so ready. Anyways, y'all, I also got some stream stuff I need to do I haven't done yet. I'm so busy with life. I still need to do stuff that I said I was going to do for my anniversary stream, like make the little art slideshow and all that stuff. I need to get on it, y'all. I got so many clips I gotta edit too. But my job takes too much. Tell my job to stop making me do job things. Let me just be a full-time VTuber. Hello, I'm leaving. Hey, 2011, we're leaving like right now. I'm so sorry, but I'll be back maybe Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. If not, then definitely Saturday morning at 11 a.m. But like we're skedaddling. So like I say at the end of all of my streams, sayonara. I hope you have a good day. Sorry, Shadow. Bye. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Bye bye. Adios. Adios. Goodbye. Leave. Get out of here. You should be at the raid by now. Not sitting here listening to me. Unless you're on YouTube, then you're just hearing me ramble because y'all don't have raids. Anyways, y'all, I'm leaving now. Okay, bye.